front, but let's also, take stock of some of the global news that we have got over the weekend. In an intense meeting, U.S. President Donald Trump, like you mentioned, has reportedly urged Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelenskyy to surrender territory to Russia in exchange for peace, which is a proposal that left the Ukrainian side frustrated. Trump also refused to supply Tomahawk missiles and floated vague security guarantees for both Kyiv and Moscow, which has even confused Ukrainian officials. Now, he later called for a ceasefire along current front lines, a shift seen as pressuring Kyiv toward a deal after a recent call with Vladimir Putin. Sumita Karir, my colleague, is now here to take us through all the details. Sumita, over to you.
So this definitely is an important development that has happened at the White House once again, with the U.S. President Donald Trump meeting Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy to further and to discuss talks on how to bring about peace as far as Russia-Ukraine war is concerned. In fact, a key topic of discussion was Ukraine's request for United States long-range Tomahawk missiles, and that is something that Ukraine feels could force it to strike deep into the Russian territory. And of course, Zelensky feels that this is something that would stop Putin from continuing with the war. Now, that is something that if Donald Trump is not very keen on as far as these Tomahawk missiles are concerned. And of course, in recent days, we've also seen after that lengthy 2-hour discussion with President Putin, President Donald Trump has softened his stance as well. He said that, both sides should now come on the negotiating table and both sides should essentially look at ending the war in Ukraine. But more importantly, speaking about ending the war in Ukraine, a significant development is coming from Donald Trump, and that concerns India and, of course, Russia. He has said that he has been assured that India is pulling back from buying Russian oil. He's also said that India is not going to buy Russian oil and that India has de-escalated on buying it, and that India bought about 38% of Russian oil is essentially what Donald Trump stated. Now, that is a claim, that India has not been very comfortable with. And we did hear from the Ministry of External Affairs, the MEA said that they are not aware of any Trump-Modi conversation that has happened. The MEA also earlier stated that India's policies of buying oil, they are completely guarded by safeguarding consumer interest and volatility, even though India has increased its energy procurement from the United States. The U.S. administration has shown interest in energy purchases from India.
I met with President Zelenskyy, as you know, today. And we had a very good meeting, very cordial meeting. In my opinion, they should stop the war immediately. You go by the battle line, wherever it is, otherwise it's too complicated. You'll never be able to figure it out. You stop at the battle line, and both sides should go home, go to their families, stop the killing, and that should be it. Stop right now at the battle line.
Okay, that's the word coming in from Donald Trump that's got global markets in a jiffy. But meanwhile, Ukrainian drones struck Russia's massive Orenburg gas processing plant near the Kazakh border, igniting a fire and halting gas intake from Kazakhstan. This is what officials have said. The facility, operated by Gazprom, is amongst the world's largest, handling 45 billion cubic meters of gas annually. The Kazakh Energy Ministry confirmed the temporary suspension of processing due to the attack. And Israel said a ceasefire in Gaza has resumed after airstrikes killed 26 people. Aid deliveries into Gaza are said to restart Monday under U.S. pressure after Israel briefly halted them, accusing Hamas of violating the truce. The strikes targeted Hamas positions but also hit a former school sheltering civilians. This is what residents have said. Tensions remain high amid disputes over the return of hostages' bodies and fears the fragile ceasefire could collapse again. Moving on, large crowds rallied across U.S. cities over the weekend for No Kings protest, denouncing what they call Trump's growing authoritarianism. The administration, however, mocked the rallies with a video showing Trump as a crowned monarch. While Republicans dismissed the event as hate America gatherings, protesters described them as patriotic acts, defending democracy amid a deepening government shutdown. Moving on, in a daring daylight heist, masked thieves used a crane to smash into Paris's Louvre Museum on Sunday, stealing priceless jewels from the gallery that houses France's crown treasures. The robbers struck minutes after opening, completing the theft in under 7 minutes before escaping on motorbikes. Officials say 8 of 9 targeted items were taken, including Empress Eugenie's crown, worth tens of millions. Next up, luxury group Kering will sell its beauty division to L'Oreal for €4 billion in a deal aimed at cutting debt and refocusing on fashion. The sale includes fragrance house Creed and 50-year-old exclusive licenses for Gucci, Bottega Veneta and Balenciaga beauty lines. Now, under the new deal, Kering is streamlining operations after weak luxury demand, particularly in China. That was where Gucci sales have taken a hit.
Okay, well, on that note, we'll skip into a very short break. That was a